Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, May 31st of 2024. I'm Giovanni Benacour, analyst, trader, and educator with Vantage Markets, and this is being pre-recorded to the previous to the U.S. session open. Well, what a month! We've we finished the month with an indicted ex-president in the United States. So let's see what that will entitle in regards to the elections in November. He'll be sentenced in July 11th. But that's besides the point. The final days of May have been a reality check for stocks, halting the rally in its tracks. For investors looking for silver linings, Thursdays wasn't as bad as it might appear. One single stock did the damage for the Dow, Salesforce, which slumped 19.7%, subtracting 352 points from the index, which closed 330 points lower. In fact, 22 of the Dow's 30 companies closed higher. It was a similar story for the S&P 500. More than 360 of the index companies rose in yesterday's session, compared with just 56 on Wednesday, suggesting the decline was anything but broad-based. Overall, the month of May has been good for stocks. It's just been a difficult final few days. The S&P 500 is up 4%, the Nasdaq has jumped 6.9%, and even the Dow is hanging on to monthly gains despite its nightmare 2 weeks. However, the market wobble means uncertainty heading into June. The path of interest rates with the Fed meeting on June 12th will remain a key focus for investors. New York Fed President John Williams countered some of the more hawkish recent rhetoric from his colleagues on Thursday, providing comfort to investors. Williams said he doesn't see a break in the downward trend of inflation and expects it to resume on its path lower in the second half of 2024. It's a welcome reminder that the core members of the Federal Open Market Committee are still targeting rate cuts this year. It could be the bond market, though, that has the final say on the direction of stocks from here. Rising bond yields have played a major role in the recent declines, much as they did back in October when the S&P 500 fell 2.5% for the month. Soft demand in several treasury auctions this week is a worrying sign that the bond sell-off may not be done just yet. If that's the case, a June swoon could be in the cards. And I do wonder, sell in May and go away last day of May. Should we go away into summer? Well, let's see with that particular old outage. We're seeing that yesterday in the Nasdaq, the markets have continued with that decline. Now, we are not in a bear trend. It had to be 20% from its all-time high for that to happen, for us to enter technically in a bear market. However, we are obviously looking at lower lows and lower highs. So therefore, let's bring down our support. 18,400 for today is my support. I'm bringing down obviously my resistance to 18,800, and I am going with the short-term trend, which is bearish. So selling the Nasdaq, selling the indices. It is the last day again. Remember, last day of the month. Now we could also see some, a rally or recuperation and whatnot. But however, we need to keep that in mind that it is the last day of the month, and obviously a lot of positions might be rolling over. For the S&P 500, I am going to bring that down to 5,210 right here, and bringing down my resistance to 5,320. So 5,210, 5,320 and change. All right. So initially, we're gonna continue. I'm gonna continue with the trend, in a short-term trend, which is selling. I could be wrong. Remember that. That's just my view on things. The Dow is the one that has literally just continuing to do more and more trending lower and just trending lower. So 38,000 is going to remain because it's just a psychological support level for it. So I'm gonna also remain with 38,800 as my resistance. Continue with that particular sell in the Dow. Then we have crude oil that yesterday, after the numbers that came out, inventory numbers, it did have managed to fluctuate below that floor of $78. So I'm gonna bring this puppy to 77. Basically, the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, and the resistance is gonna be right here at $80 change. What will happen today? Will we see a continuation to the downside on crude oil, or will we see a rebound? I'm favoring a rebound, so I could be wrong. So buying crude oil. Nat Gas 260, and I'm going to bring down that puppy of support to 225, right around here, right around here. All right, yep. So also Nat Gas, selling Nat Gas in the morning. Gold. Let's take a look at gold. What could be happening with gold again? Gold. You see, gold is just continue to stay within this range, within May 23rd trading range. So it is doing sideways. A lot of choppiness, consolidation scenario for gold. But however, the $2,400 marker will not be reached today. I suppose not, unless something really out of left field comes out. So 2380 is the resistance, and I shall just 2300. I'm gonna leave that puppy there. Oh no, you know what? 2320. Just for today. That'll be a tighter range for gold. Then silver has rebounded off the support, so therefore let's just bring down the support to 30 and a half, 30.50 right here, and that resistance I'm gonna bring it down to that double top being created early in the week, somewhere around there. Okay, cool. So there we are. Yeah, I'm being bullish with silver, so buying silver. Then copper. Well, copper, I believe copper may just be ready to rebound and do a recovery here. And let's see if that will be the case for today. So I'm buying copper. 490 is my resistance. 453 is the support. Bitcoin is the one that continues to just linger around 68,000. Is trading above that now, so I'm still leaving 70,000 as my resistance and 66,122 as my support. The currencies for today, the euro is recuperating after such a brutal beat down on Wednesday. So let's see if 109 can be met today. So I'm buying the euro. The pound is the one that is looking to sustain itself. Let's see if it'll be able to do so towards the 128 handle today. So I'm still buying pound. And that could be met as we see that the dollar index continues to decline, continues to just give back all of this movement that it had on Wednesday. So let's see. The 120, this support is just right about there. So I'm going to use this low as the support right here. Oh, wait a minute. Right here. That's it. All right. So as I will see that the dollar index continues to trend lower, we'll see a movement to the upside on the currencies and most likely also on metals. That's it for me today. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.